Man, what is going on, everybody? It's a beautiful morning. Hope that music ain't too loud. I hope it ain't too loud, man. Boy, I'm just getting off work, catching up on my boxing news. Something that had came out, I think on the 19th. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got your subscriptions, you going through YouTube, everybody you following, you catching it up, you just listening. I have my AirPods on. You know what I'm saying? By the way, the pros are worth getting. And I'm just listening, working and listening. This interview, it sounds like a piece of an interview though, of Bob Arum talking about all the arbitration and all of that stuff, man. And the procedure about the gloves in Nevada. I have a bone to pick with some of that, but I want y'all to hear this, man, because he just spilling the beans. Now, we know how this dude is right here, though. We know how Bob Arum is, you know what I'm saying? So I take it with a grain of salt, because he said in mediations, the contract still, they ran out of time. And he's trying to find a way to get the fight. He being Deontay Wilder, right? So at the same time, it's like, okay, if you out of time, why you still trying? Why? Because that probably was going to be a big old payday for him. Like I told y'all, he don't want to let it go. It is what it is, right? So Bob Arum claims that he told him, how about you fight the winner of, which I said too, the winner of, Fury and AJ. He said, no, that didn't satisfy him. No, I want it now. Which is out of probably straight bitterness, because he see him going to fight for all the marbles and he not. You see what I'm saying? So they decided to go to arbitration. But he claimed, but Bob is a lawyer, but he not acting, but he is a lawyer. And he's saying that in the contract, it states they ran out of time. So I want to see this come to fruition, how this is really going to play out. Because my thing is this. If he ran out of time, there are allegedly reports that Bob Arum tried to offer him, quote, quote, 32 million, which I don't believe. 10 million, I could believe. And he didn't go for it. So I don't know which one it is. Y'all let me know, but we're going to get more into this. Let's go on and check this interview out. All right? And see how this go. Yep, another report, but let's go and do this one first.
The one with the gloves was insane. And the one about Mark Breland, his corner man, giving him putting something in his water is absurd. Yeah, I mean, just totally off the chart.
Yeah. Have you spoken to Shelley Finkel about any of this since?
No, I don't talk with Shelley Finkel.
Oh, do you not?
No, I don't like Shelley Finkel.
Fair enough.
We've mentioned it to the Wilder people, the technocrats with PBC
right.
are pretty nice people.
Okay.
So I mean, they were disgusted with it as well.
Okay.
You understand? I don't know if I've discussed this with you. Let's take the gloves.
Yeah.
Before we get to the gloves, though, I've heard that excuse for it before. Larry Holmes, was it Larry? No, it was George Foreman. Said he thought somebody spiked his water. I think he got that from, man. And use it, man. Cause remember, he was supposed to be firing that man anyways, and he used that man as sacrificial lamb, slapped that story on, and it didn't stick. Cause like I said, it was what? His suit, his costume he wore, right? Said he didn't know it weighed that much, and it was a long walk to the ring. Remember that? Then he turned around and said, it was allegedly it was an injury or something. And all that stuff, it was all the reasons wrong. Somewhere in this interview, they said he allegedly said the ref probably was drunk. He just had a million one excuses. But I want to throw this out there though. If he got hit with an egg weight and that's his head, y'all tell me where is it at now? Leave it in the comment. Bone, your skull can't just heal like that, bro. But I want to know what y'all got to say. Let me know. Let's get back to it.
Now, that he said that Fury loaded the gloves, etc., put stuff in his gloves and so forth. Now, the fight was in Nevada. Now, Nevada has a procedure to prevent anything tampering with the gloves or putting anything in the glove. And the procedure is this. After the weigh-in, they lay out 4 pairs of gloves. And each fighter picks his set of gloves and signs it set number 1. Then they pick up their other set number 2, and they sign it. Then the commission takes the gloves, and the gloves are locked in a safe in the commission office, and they come out the night of the fight and handed to 2 inspectors, one for Wilder and one for Fury. The glove number 1 for each guy. Now, the glove is then delivered by the inspector in the dressing room to each fighter. There's another inspector there, and in the presence of both inspectors, the fighters gloved up. So the idea that any tampering with the gloves is absurd. Now, if it was in another jurisdiction, there might be a possibility that it could happen, although it's unlikely. But in Nevada, it's impossible because the whole procedures in Nevada are designed to prevent just that from happening. So the fact that he said that the gloves were tampered with and something was put in them in Nevada, it's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
If this was in Abu Dhabi, let's say, and he made that allegation, which would not be true, Fury would deny it and so forth, but would there be a possibility? Yeah, there would be a possibility. But in Nevada, there's no possibility.
Yeah. Well, on top of that, you've got Deontay Wilder's other manager and trainer, JD's, was watching Fury get his hands wrapped and gloved up.
Exactly correct. Yeah, in addition to the two inspectors.
Yeah. And I was watching something a little while ago, and I did a clipping of it, which is at Fox Sport, when they were showing the dressing room, Wilder had some different gloves mailed in from FedEx moments before the ring walk.
I didn't know anything about that. That can't be. That's bullshit.
Well, that's what like a
That's
Fox Sport
bullshit. That can't be. That's impossible. The commission wouldn't allow him to use those gloves.
Well, there was a commissioner in there with him who was overseeing the gloves with Mark Breland. So, I mean, everything was fine with him. I'm sure they were.
No. You couldn't. You have to. The only gloves you're allowed to use are those gloves that are signed at the weigh-in.
And what do you think of his accusations about Mark Breland? Do you know Mark Breland? Have you had much dealing with him?
Mark Breland.
Okay, he's finna go in about Mark Breland. We're going to get back to it. But this is why I want to put some clarity. Because I already know some of y'all finna try to be like, oh, that's a crock of crap. Let me explain. Let me explain. He is solely talking about the gloves. What he is saying is correct. You can do your research. It is correct. All right. Also, what the dude said about some gloves being FedEx, that was true too. Now, and I know some of y'all aren't casual fans. Y'all are boxing enthusiasts. Y'all do remember Cotto. All right. And was it Margarito? right? It was suspected, and then it came out when he fought Sugar Shane, Margarito Sugar Shane Mosley. And people saying loaded gloves. Now, it was his wraps. He had like some plaster type stuff. I don't know what it was on his wraps. How it became the question, some white stuff came out his glove, sitting in that coma. Okay? Which led them to check his wraps. All right? The commissioners are not checking the wraps. They're standing there, but they don't know nothing about wrapping no hand. They ought to keep the gloves secure, so you can't take no padding out of them. You can't put no egg weight inside of it or none of that. You ain't seeing those gloves again until fight night, and they're going to go get them, and they're going to watch you put them on and tape them up. That's their job. So a lot of people get confused on that part. Now, to all my Deontay Wilder fans, JD's was in there. It's his responsibility to watch that man's hand get wrapped. It even gets signed off on, just like it was the negligence of Sugar Shane and Kodos, whoever they had in there with the addition of the inspectors and commission. Okay? So one of your cornermen is in there. They can even touch the wraps if they want to. They could be in there for the entire wrapping and the gloving. So it's their fault. So if they're trying to say this man somehow had plaster in his hands, which he didn't say, he said it was an egg weight inside the glove. There's no way. So I just want to make that distinguish so for people say, well, Margarito gloves was loaded. No, he had loaded wraps. There's a difference. Right? And once he stuck his hand in that glove, it became loaded. But this is not what they're saying. All right? So I just want people to understand that Deontay Camp is saying something totally different than loaded wraps. They're saying it was something inside of the glove. They're saying no padding. They're having all these excuses, all right? When the only person that got some gloves out the blue was Deontay. And that's a fact. Right? And like I said, I'm a fan of sport. I'm not a fan of one man in the sport. You know, one man ain't bigger than all of boxing. But this was on. I said it when I said, how they get that FedEx envelope? But it was a commissioner or inspector was in there. All right. But the nobody from the other camp was in there. I never seen gloves come in a FedEx envelope before. And I don't think it was supposed to be caught on camera, to be honest with you. But we will get to that. But I just wanted to make sure that people understood that. I'm going to skip a little bit because we already know the story about Mark Breland. He's just going to talk about how good of a man he is.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, the fact that he would spike your water is totally absurd. He's for you. Breland, anybody you know, crazy. That's crazy. I mean, it would have been more believable if he said that Fury's friend was stalking them, and he must have put something in the water, spiking his water.
Yeah. And what's the other one? Oh, the referee was drunk as well. That was the other one.
Wasn't that terrible? Isn't that terrible?
That's just crazy, bro.
The referee saved them from getting killed.
I agree. I mean, he says that the referee was on Tyson's side, but didn't the referee dock a point off Tyson?
Yeah, the referee was...
Now, that I got to rewatch. I remember Tyson Fury getting docked a point. I got to rewatch that fight. I'm not sure on that one.
If any side the referee was on, it was on Wilder's side.
That's right.
But he wasn't on any side. He's a terrific referee.
No, I agree. So where would you put these excuses for a loss in your dealings with boxing?
As preposterous as this. Never. I've heard excuses that are totally crazy where the guy said that he got up in the morning and he was sick, but he didn't let anybody know that he was sick, and he went into the fight and he got knocked out because he was sick. I've heard those kind of excuses, but this type of excuse, I haven't heard anything like it. I mean, total. And what about the costume that he picked out and he was wearing? You know,
Stop it.
strip.
Get some help.
Oh my
So
God.
again, you know, something. But also, you got to look back. I didn't know that, and maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. But there has to be some type of deficiency mentally or in his character. But it never came out because look at his record. He had never lost a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And he had knocked out his opponents and so forth. And I think that his actions after this fight may very well expose his true character.
I agree. I totally agree. And I heard that, I mean, I know Tyson said it a little while ago, but I heard that recently he told you the same, that Tyson, under no circumstances, is going to fight Wilder again after all this.
Right. What happened was...
Yeah, here we go, y'all.
The contract in any reading of the contract was that the time for the fight had expired by its terms, and they then sought mediation from a mediator who's a very, very nice fellow, Dan Weinstein, a former judge, and remember, it's mediation.
Mm-hmm.
So Dan was trying over the Christmas holiday to get a solution. And we came up with a possible solution to allow the Fury-Joshua fight to happen. And then Fury, if he won, would fight Wilder. When I presented that possible solution to Fury, Tyson really let loose.
That's what it was. That's why mediations fell through. Because Tyson didn't want to fight him under no circumstance because he was throwing dirt on his name. That's what it was.
And under no circumstances that he considered it a terrible attack on his character, an attack on the travel of people, and under no way he said, not today, not tomorrow, not ever am I ever going to fight Wilder.
I'll say fair. That's fair enough. Absolutely fair enough.
So,
I agree. I remember it's a quick point. In another interview, and I saw this come out Tyson Fury mouth himself, he said, I was already shot in the third fight. But when you start, putting mud on my name, so to speak, you assassination of character, he said, if I wanted to, I said I should sue him, shouldn't I? But he said, I'm not like that. I'm not going to sue him for trying to assassinate my character. He was like, I'm just not going to fight him no more. I'm not going to do that. He was like, hell, he knocked me out twice, and I did not once talk bad about him. If anything, I gave him his props. And I was like, he kept it 100 on that one.
yeah.
Well, as far as the mediation is concerned, Shady Finkel spoke to somebody today, I forget who it was, saying that it's now going to arbitration. No idea what that means, but...
Well, the contract provides, which contract is not in effect, that after mediation, either side can go to arbitration. But that was a while ago, a week or so ago, and they haven't even thought to go to arbitration. Why? Because they have pretty good lawyers, and no lawyer worth his salt is going to go and make a claim that that contract is still in effect. It's one thing in a mediation to use that to work out some type of arrangement, but to go in and to argue that the contract is still valid, trust me, I'm a lawyer. I'm practicing law. Absolutely not even a shred of validity. So, again, it just would be throwing good money after bad.
Okay, so basically Wilder has no leg to stand on then, really.
That is correct. That is 100% correct.
There you go. There you have it.
Dilly the body snatch away.
My bad. There you go. There you have it. Now the games. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, but again, this is Bob Arum. Let's keep 100. This is Bob Arum. Now I want to show you guys the footage of what I was talking about. How he got those gloves in the second fight. FedEx G. I'm gonna show it to y'all real quick. Give me a second. If y'all still here with me, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys tuning in to GMT Boxing, aka Ring Rush. You know how we do over here. I just like to be thorough because we got a lot of knuckleheads out here spreading rhetoric, making up their own theories, man. And it's okay to have your theories, you know, but don't make them fact. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. If we all gonna want boxing to be the best sport on earth, you know what I'm saying? As great as it could be, we don't need to be doing that. We don't need to be lying. You know what I'm saying? Adding stuff into it. You know what I'm saying? So, is Bob Arum right? I need to know, y'all. I need to know. But let's go ahead and look at this. Check this out.
Something happened with the gloves that were on site because.
Well, they're being inspected by the Nevada State Athletic Commission right now.
I know, but that's supposed to take place.
Correct.
During the weigh-in or before the weigh-in or right after.
And the FedEx bag right there, they're even talking about it. How you got these gloves last minute.
The fact that those just came out of a FedEx package, that lets me know that something happened yesterday, something wasn't right, and they realized they had to get some gloves here right away.
Well, typically the other camp is involved also with glove inspection, and it can be contractual as well. But this is the scene that we just captured in Wilder's locker room as they were able
Boom,
to.
brand new gloves.
Do we know what the gloves were before this?
You know who will? Bernard goes sooner.
Okay.
They go to FedEx
Now, as you
bag.
quite plainly see and hear from the Fox Sports commentary team, Lennox Lewis and co., they were also questioning these gloves.
So, and you can go back to the fight. It's still on there. You can catch it for yourself. Except he on this video, he didn't even catch it from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? He should have caught it from the beginning because it showed him actually tearing the bag open. You know, so I give them that. You know what I mean? So they were sealed. They were flown there from somewhere. But I want to know what happened to the other two pair of gloves. It was two pair of gloves. What happened to them? Right? He's the only one that had something wrong with the gloves. So, but they say it was the other guy. So I'm just saying though. I'm not saying that was wrong with his glove. I'm not saying he had loaded gloves. He's just putting the facts out there. That's all we doing. You know what I mean? You want to know why Usyk is in the background with Arum? Because I got a video of him coming next. All right. Frank Warren, you know what? We'll say it next time. If y'all been here for this 23 minutes, I appreciate y'all. If you want to show some major love, please hit the like button. Tell somebody about GMT Boxing, man, and hit that sub button. This your boy Slick 50, and I'm up out of here. Y'all be easy. Deuces.